If you are from Wisconsin, a football fan, or even have a pulse, you've likely heard of legendary Packer football coach Vince Lombardi. Last week, in an interview on Bloomberg Television's Political Capital with L. Hunt, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker made a direct comparison between himself and Vince Lombardi. When Mr. Hunt confronted Walker about 6 straight months of job losses in Wisconsin, he made the comparison. Now let's forget the fact that Scotty has probably never put on a football helmet or suited up for a game in his entire life. Let's put aside the fact that the last time Scotty touched a football was in the 7th grade, when he dropped an easy pass from Tommy Hinkle, who then promptly kicked Scotty in the shin and called him a loser. Let's focus on the real comparison. Vince Lombardi is a legend. He led a ragtag group of athletes to become one of history's greatest sports franchises. A franchise that is looked up to and is used as a metric to measure success by almost all other athletic teams. Lombardi was adorned then as he is now. He was looked up to by his players, his staff, and the general public. He made almost no enemies, and everyone who ever knew him held him in the highest regard because he was a person of character, of valor, and a great uniter. Governor, you are no Vince Lombardi. Lombardi once said, "Leadership is based on spiritual quality, the power to inspire others to follow." Governor, you have definitely inspired people to follow you wherever you go and protest your every move. Half the state of Wisconsin signed to recall you from office. 1 million people think you should be fired from your job immediately. People gathered by the tens of thousands, not to cheer you on, but to protest your very existence. You are not a uniter, as was Lombardi. You are a divider, and you have torn this state apart, and you seem to at times enjoy it. Scott Walker, you are no Vince Lombardi. The team of players you have put together are not honorable athletes, but rather crooks, liars, cheaters, and even stealers. Coach Lombardi once said, "The object is to win fairly, by the rules, but to win." Well, Vince played by the rules, but you, Scotty, not so much. Darlene Wink, one of your top aides for almost 8 years, pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges of fundraising in the courthouse for your campaign for governor while you were county executive. She sat right next to you. What position did she play on your team of crooks and liars? Offensive line? Tim Russell, your former deputy chief of staff, embezzled more than $20,000 from veterans and set up the secret email network that allowed government staffers to illegally campaign for you while supposedly on the clock for taxpayers. What's his position? Loose end? Then there's Brian Pierrick, Russell's longtime partner and Walker volunteer, who was charged with a felony child enticement and causing a child to expose his genitals. And where does he fit in on your hand-picked team? Ball boy? And last but not least, there is Lieutenant Governor and world-class Tammy Faye Baker lookalike, Rebecca Clayfish, who thinks gay marriage will lead to people marrying clocks, tables, and dogs. There is only one position she could hold: head cheerleader. Governor, you are no Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi once said, "Some of us will do our jobs well, and some will not. But we will be judged by only one thing: the result." And considering Wisconsin is the only state in the union to have private sector job losses for 6 straight months, the results are in, and they are not good, Scott. Not good at all. I think I can safely assume that if Vince Lombardi knew you were comparing yourself to him, he would be rolling over in his grave and screaming one thing: